Hey guys, welcome back to Ace Recaps. Today I'm going to be explaining a 2016 Korean film inspired by the Fukushima nuclear accident titled Pandora. Jae-hyuk, an employee at the local nuclear plant, is seen complaining about his job. His mother considers him to be a failure as he invested his family's savings and lost it all. It was the money they received for the death of his father and brother due to an accident at the nuclear plant. Now she runs a small restaurant and takes care of her daughter-in-law and her grandson. Outside the plant, we see a large group of protesters halting traffic as they believe that it's going to be the end of them all. Yes, because blocking traffic is the best way to fight global warming. An employee explains that the nuclear power plant is eco-friendly and runs 24/7, providing jobs for everyone around the area and even helping fight global warming. Due to regular safety inspections, it is absolutely safe, and the building can even withstand an earthquake of magnitude 7. Eco-friendly nuclear plant, you say? Well, nothing says green like a place that could potentially turn the whole town into a giant glow stick. Mother Nature is surely grateful. After work, Jae-hyuk is seen having a beer with his friends. He's seen complaining that the town used to be poor but at least livable due to the tourists. His best friend Gil Seop, on the other hand, is thankful for the power plant as it saved his family from poverty. Jae-hyuk spends the night with his girlfriend Yeon and tells her about his plans to move to America and make a lot of money. Yes, because moving to America is the universal solution to all life problems. It's not like there's a global shortage of people with that plan already. She doesn't seem too happy about it since he's the only family she has left. The chief engineer at the plant, Pyung-sok, claims that they are in grave danger since it's not been maintained properly. The director of the company knows nothing about nuclear power and has initiated the reactor without proper repair. He's even sent a letter to the president of the country illustrating the same, as no one at the plant seems to be listening to him. The senator pushed for the approval as he was bribed well, and the prime minister confronts him regarding it. Jae-hyuk is seen trying to convince his mom to let him go to America, but she refuses to help him out, and he goes to bed angry. That night, we watch as thousands of rats escape from the sewers and into the water, running away from some danger they sense. The next morning, when Jae-hyuk is at work along with his friends, a massive earthquake strikes the town. Everyone around panics and calls their loved ones if they are okay. There were a few minor injuries, but fortunately, nobody was killed in the incident. The control unit at the plant is informed about a crack in the cooling unit. Everyone thinks it's an easy fix, but Pyung-sok claims that this is just the start of many malfunctions. The safety check that was supposed to take years to complete was just finished in 2 months, meaning there are many unchecked pipelines. In a perfect world, we'd maintain the plant properly. But who needs perfection when you have duct tape and good intentions? The team soon figures out that there's a leak in the coolant valve, dropping it down to dangerous levels. Nobody wants to go in and fix it since it's too dangerous, but some of the employees volunteer. As they get to work, the pipes overload and start to burst, causing the deaths of many of the workers due to high levels of radiation. This leads them to declare the plant in a state of emergency, and the president decides to evacuate all the locals from the area. As Jae-hyuk watches people being strolled away, he has a flashback of the time when his father and brother died due to radiation burns. He decides to flee, but his friends aren't willing to do so. All of them then choose to stay back and help replace the pipes. At the control center, it is revealed that the repairs aren't effective as the pressure within the reactor is rising too fast. The president is informed about the meltdown. At the rate the pressure is building up, the nuclear reactor will explode, affecting the lives of millions of people around. The president orders the evacuation of all the people around, but it's just not feasible as there are just too many of them. The senator proposes they release the pressure immediately before the explosion, even if it affects the lives of everyone around. But the president isn't willing to be accountable for the deaths of the locals. All the people of the town, including Jae-hyuk's family, get into buses and evacuate the area, but they are all jammed in due to the traffic. The workers are informed about the decision and start to panic. They realize that if the reactor explodes, they are all doomed, and they decide to flee. Looking at this, the control center decides to lock them in so that they continue to work on the pipes. They start to pry open the door, but it's sealed shut. They try to explain to them that if they run away, everyone, even their families, will be killed, but nobody is willing to listen. As the pressure is 3 times the limit now, the president still wants to wait for the locals to evacuate, endangering the lives of 50 million people in the process. Once it gets past the explosion point, Pyung-sok orders for the vents to be opened, but it doesn't work as the system's been overloaded. Meanwhile, the workers get the doors open and start to flee the facility. Some workers decide to open the vents manually as it's their last resort to saving the lives of so many people. Unfortunately, just as they are about to open it, the reactor explodes. Many people lose their lives and get trapped underneath the rubble. Jae-hyuk is terrified to witness the horrific death of his best friends. Luckily, Gil Seop survived the ordeal but was injured in the process. He is escorted outside the premises and taken to safety. On the other hand, the government decides to stop the evacuation of the locals as there isn't enough time to save them. Instead, they evacuate the other people who are in a 20-mile radius. The locals are being lied to that it's just a minor setback and are made to rest in a stadium. Jae-hyuk's girlfriend Yeon-yo decides to check out the scene for herself. When she gets there, she is shocked looking at the horrific sight. The firefighters refuse to go in and get the survivors out as they are terrified of the outcome. Yeon-yo runs into Jae-hyuk outside and is glad that he's okay. Looking at everyone around him suffering, Jae-hyuk does not agree to leave. He tells his girlfriend to take care of his family and runs back into the building to help the other survivors. The fuel rods within the reactor start to overheat. The president orders the firefighters to start dumping water into the reactor to help cool it down and reduce the spread of radiation. The firefighters do as they are told and work together to spray as much water as possible into the reactor. Back at the emergency room, we see many workers suffering from radiation burns. The medical team works hard and tries to save as many of them as possible, but there are way too many casualties. Yeon-yo rushes back to her townspeople and informs everyone about the nuclear meltdown. They all try to flee but realize that they are locked in by the military. Everyone starts to panic and turn on each other, knowing what's coming. When Jae-hyuk tries to help another one of his fellow colleagues, a pipe above him bursts, dosing him with high levels of radiation. As he gets out, he faints after coughing up blood and is rushed to the emergency room. Pyung-sok watches as the firefighters rush back out to get water even though they are located right next to the sea. He loses his shit when he finds out that the headquarters ordered them to use fresh water since seawater is going to cause the reactor to be decommissioned, costing them billions of dollars. Soon, the firefighters start passing out and vomiting due to radiation sickness. The bodies outside the reactor start to pile up, but everyone continues to work hard to stop the reactor from exploding. People even succumb to their injuries at the emergency room due to high levels of radiation. The next morning, the president gets the news that there's a leak in the chamber due to the explosion, and even though the water is being pumped, it's leaking out due to a crack under it. If the coolant continues to drain, the fuel rods will be exposed to air. A massive hydrogen explosion will occur, killing millions of people in the process. As the news spreads, the police and military evacuate the area, leaving the locals trapped within the building. They all work together, break down the door, and head out in the buses they came in. Multiple cities around the nuclear plant start evacuating as well. This causes everyone to be stuck wherever they are due to all the traffic blocking the roads. Even the doctors from the hospitals run away, leaving the injured people to fend for themselves. When Jae-hyuk comes back to his senses, he calls up his girlfriend and tells her to get away as quickly as possible. His mother is still mad at him for not being there, but he promises her he'll make it there soon. He decides to leave, but the others don't let him do so as there's nowhere to go since all the roads are blocked. The president finally gets in contact with Pyung-sok and is informed about the wrongdoings of the senator. He takes control of the entire situation and orders them to shut down every nuclear power plant in the country to avoid another meltdown. He even orders them to use seawater and decommission the reactor. The firefighters now use the ocean to dump in more water, and the radiation levels finally start to drop. As one worker walks into the building, he sees that there's a massive crack on the ceiling, causing the coolant to flow through. The room is filled with radiated water, meaning anyone who goes in to fix it will be risking their life in the process. While on the phone with his girlfriend, Jae-hyuk still tells her that he's on the way, knowing very well that he's not going to make it. Everyone on the bus is forced to continue on foot due to the traffic. The president of the country then goes on to plead with the public for volunteers to help fix the crack or millions of people would die. Jae-hyuk realizes that if he needs to save the life of his loved ones, he needs to go in. He, along with his best friend Gil Seop and a few other workers present there, decide to risk their life too. He calls up his girlfriend and tells her the same but promises her that he'll be back. When his mother finds out about this, they all break down in tears. Not wanting to lose her only son, she struggles to go back to the town. On the way to the plant, the team plans their course of action and nostalgically look over their once beloved town. All the firefighters stand in respect as the brave team walks into the building. The team gets to work, and one by one start fixing up the crack in the wall. Many of them start to fall sick, but they still keep pushing, all while broadcasting the live footage to the country. Suddenly, the wall crack widens, causing a massive flow of water. The team has no hope now but to evacuate and await the meltdown. The people of the country start to panic. They get onto ships and try to flee, but there's just way too many people. Just then Jae-hyuk comes up with an idea to seal the door and blow the roof, causing the fuel rods and the coolant to drop, turning the room into a tank. Unfortunately, they do not have enough time to set up the explosives and seal the door, so one person will have to stay back. As Jae-hyuk is the only person there who knows how to set up the explosives, he volunteers to stay back. He starts setting up the bomb while his teammates seal the door. He suffers from immense pain due to radiation and swallows quite a few painkillers to finish the job. He requests the president to help him talk to his mother, and he broadcasts the video to the entire country. Everybody is in tears as he tells them his final goodbyes. He tells his mother and girlfriend how much he loves them and how it's sad he couldn't meet them one last time. He asks them to take care of themselves so that they may reunite in the afterlife one day. He's terrified about what's about to come and wishes he did not have to do it. This scene even made me cry like a little baby. As he gets the green signal from his team outside, he sets off the explosive and saves the lives of millions of people. The movie ends as we watch the people of the town, mourning their loved ones and slowly getting back to their lives. That's all folks, thank you for watching. If you like the video please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.